story. 72 hours after Times Now accessed a confidential report on how the nation's defense machinery had been riddled with faulty systems, the makers of the Uran missile systems, Tactical Missiles Corporation, have responded to the report. The company has said that the missile systems of only the first shipment to India in the late 1990s had problems. Instead, Uran goes on to accuse New Delhi of hurrying through the process of procurement even before basic tests had been completed. The company says that all the problems were fixed later and the missiles had been tested successfully by the Indian Army.
Tactical Missiles Corporation, which makes Uran shipborne missile systems here in Korolyov, 20 kilometers northwest from Moscow, did not give us an interview but provided a written statement. The document says problems occurred only with the first shipments of Uran systems to India back in the late 1990s. And the reason was that India was in a hurry to purchase the missiles even before the state tests were completed. Later on, it says all problems were fixed and that the missiles were successfully tested by the Indian military and that Russia also sold the systems to other countries as well. In the statement, the company insists the missiles are absolutely fine and says it's the Russian competitors on the global weapons market who are to blame for the reports. Anya Ardaeva, Times Now, Moscow.
In fact, the Russian Uran anti-ship missile has been under the scanner over its performance. Defense sources have told Times Now that the components used are of low quality. Also, the Russian suppliers had so far not responded to India's queries. And the Club missile, which India was the first to procure, did not even make the cut in the first round of test fires. The report also mentions the Harpi missile, which had been procured by New Delhi for a whopping 750 crores and now lies useless after developing direction trouble. The Popeye 2 missile, an air-to-surface missile which cost 350 crore, did not even pass the initial test due to faulty wings. The Sea Eagle, a subsonic anti-ship missile which cost close to 120 crore rupees, is also no longer usable as the components are no longer available. The anti-radiation missiles procured from Russia, which have malfunctional seekers, the parts used to seek out the target. The report also lists indigenous non-performers, among them the Sitafal, the cluster bomb, which is no longer in use since key components became unavailable. And finally, the 450 kilograms high-speed low-drag bombs whose mismatch in components have rendered them useless. K. Santhanam, the former deputy director of the DRDO, in an exclusive interview to Times Now, has said that one of the reasons why weapon systems are not up to the mark is because most countries supplying weapon systems will not provide state-of-the-art systems that match those used by their own armies. Adding another reason could be the inherent failure rate of electronic weapon systems.
Will not give you the state-of-the-art weapon systems that they are giving to their armed forces. They will give one notch below or one level below because they believe that whatever they have currently with their forces is a kind of crown jewel, and that is needed with respect to their main adversary, whoever that may be. So inevitably, the specifications would be lowered for the export market. No matter how brilliant a weapon system is, it's likely to fail. The likelihood of failure exists in all weapon systems. What percentage, it's difficult to predict because it depends on whether it's a gun or a radar or a communication. So there is a finite percentage of failure.